What's up, YouTube? It's Boyz N The Hood, and I'm back for to it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe as you always. Watch the full video.
In 1991, a movie hit theaters that changed
What? You mean 1991?
the way America looked at South Central Los Angeles forever. It wasn't just another film. It wasn't just another drama. It was a mirror, reflecting back a reality that had long been ignored by Hollywood. That movie was Boyz N The Hood. Written and directed by a 23-year-old first-time filmmaker named John Singleton, the movie not only gave audiences a raw, unfiltered look at life in the inner city, but it also became a cultural landmark. But behind the fame, the awards, and the cultural legacy, there are countless strange, fascinating, and little-known stories about how this film came to be. Today, we're diving deep into 15 weird facts about Boyz N The Hood that will forever change
Hey, like, this is one movie I couldn't like. It was a great movie, but I would not watch it.
the way you look at this classic. Fact 1. John Singleton wrote the script as a college assignment. Most great directors cut their teeth with short films or music videos. But Singleton? He literally turned in the first draft of Boyz N The Hood as a writing assignment while studying at USC's film school. Imagine being 21 years old, sitting in a college classroom, and writing something so raw, so powerful, that it would end up not only defining your career, but also shifting the entire landscape of American cinema. That's what Singleton did. He told his professor he wasn't writing just for a grade, he was writing his future. He wrote it based on what he saw growing up in South Central, mixing real events, real people, and the emotions he carried from his own life. The weirdest part? His classmates didn't think much of it at the time. To them, it was just another student script. They couldn't see that this was about to become a cinematic revolution. Fact 2. Singleton insisted on directing it himself. Here's where it gets even stranger. Hollywood studios loved the script, but they didn't want a 23-year-old first-time filmmaker directing it. They wanted an established name. Singleton refused.
Nah.
He told executives, "If I don't direct it, nobody directs it." That kind of boldness.
Yeah, then it wasn't gonna. If he wrote it based on his experience, he needs to direct to you so we can see and get the vision or what he was feeling or seeing in these moments. Like a person who's like, yeah, somebody it can work, but sometimes it's like a song, right? A song. If somebody writes a song about something that you've never ever experienced before, or you can't even imagine yourself experiencing, you're not gonna be able to sing it or rap it the way it needs to be delivered. But if you've been through it, you've lived through it, you know how to direct it. Cause hey, no, move that this way because that wouldn't happen. It would have happened this way. It's like a cop. I couldn't go to a movie or a show that's about cops in my hey. No, a cop would have did this. No, because I'm not a cop. I haven't experienced what a cop has been through in these moments. Like it's. I hope I get what I'm going with that.
This is unheard of in Hollywood, especially from someone with zero experience. But Singleton understood one thing. No outsider could capture South Central the way he could. He grew up there. He lived it. He knew the language, the streets, the energy, the danger.
No, bro.
A polished director from Beverly Hills could never tell the story authentically.
No.
His gamble paid off. He became the youngest person ever nominated for Best Director at the Oscars. And not only that, he was the first black director in history to receive the nomination. Fact 3. Ice Cube wasn't an actor yet. Today, Ice Cube is a Hollywood veteran, but in 1991, he was known only as a rapper. A controversial one at that, fresh off his years with NWA, at the center of debates about gangster rap. Singleton, however, saw something others didn't. Cube had presence. When Cube first auditioned, he didn't even think he'd get the role. But Singleton told him, "You're not acting. You're just being you. That's why I need you." It worked. Doughboy, the tragic yet magnetic character, became one of the most unforgettable performances in hip-hop to Hollywood history. The weirdest part? Cube almost turned it down because he didn't see himself as an actor. Had he passed, Doughboy might have looked completely different. And Cube's entire Hollywood career, from comedies like Friday to action films, might never have existed. Fact 4. The movie was shot in the real South Central. Most films set in dangerous neighborhoods avoid actually filming there. Not this one. Singleton demanded authenticity, so the crew filmed directly in the same streets he grew up on. But here's the twist. Filming in South Central wasn't safe. At one point, production had to be paused because of nearby gang activity. Police had to be stationed on set. Cast and crew were
It's the 90s. A lot of gangs were started in the 70s. And they were heavily active in the 90s.
constantly reminded that this wasn't a movie set bubble, this was real life. The authenticity shows. When you watch Boyz N The Hood, you're not looking at a Hollywood backlot. You're looking at real streets, real houses, and a community that was alive with both hope and heartbreak. Fact 5. A real drive by shooting happened near the set. As if filming in South Central wasn't intense enough, one of the strangest and scariest moments during production came when a real drive-by shooting occurred just blocks away from where they were filming. The cast and crew weren't targeted,
Damn.
but the reality
Look at her. She was so bad. What? She's fighting shit down. But damn.
of gang violence literally bled into the filmmaking process. Imagine filming a fictional drive-by scene for a movie and then hearing gunshots in the distance for real. Singleton himself later said that the line between fiction and reality blurred constantly while making this film. Fact 6. Cuba Gooding Jr. got the role by accident. Cuba Gooding Jr. wasn't a household name in 1991.
Why the
In fact,
fuck you keep saying
he
that?
almost wasn't in the movie at all. Singleton spotted him during a chance meeting and thought he had the right energy for Trey, the central character who tries to rise above the chaos. What's wild is that other young actors, some more famous at the time, had auditioned, but Singleton wanted someone fresh. He didn't want Hollywood polish. He wanted authenticity. Cuba ended up not only anchoring the film, but also using it as a springboard to an Oscar-winning career. Fact 7. Lawrence Fishburne was only 7 years older than Cuba. Here's a fact that always surprises fans. Lawrence Fishburne, who plays Furious Styles, the wise, tough father figure, was only 7 years older than Cuba Gooding Jr. in real life. Think about that. The father-son dynamic works perfectly on screen. Fishburne carries himself with such gravity, such maturity, that audiences never questioned it. But off-screen, they were practically peers. That's a testament to Fishburne's performance and Singleton's vision. Fact 8. The cast rehearsed in the neighborhood to blend in. Singleton didn't want his actors to feel like Hollywood outsiders parachuting into South Central. So before filming, he made them spend time in the neighborhood, walking the streets, talking to locals, learning the body language, the slang, the rhythm of life. This immersion created a level of authenticity.
Yeah, I forgot what's his name. The guy that played in Snowfall, he said the same thing. He said that he made him stay in South Central and he had to talk like us. Well, I'm from South Central too. So he had to talk regularly until the whole time. If he messed up, he didn't get the job or whatever. And he got it.
Rarely seen in movies about marginalized communities. It wasn't just method acting, it was cultural respect. Fact 9. The studio didn't expect it to succeed. Columbia Pictures didn't think Boyz N The Hood would be a hit. They saw it as a small, niche movie with limited appeal. The marketing budget was tiny compared to other summer films of 1,991. And then, the movie exploded. Audiences packed theaters. Critics raved. Word of mouth turned it into one of the most profitable films of the year. Made for just over $6 million, it grossed nearly 10 times that amount. Hollywood had underestimated both the story and the audience's hunger for real, authentic voices. Fact 10. It sparked violence at theaters. Here's a dark and unsettling truth. During its opening weekend, reports of fights and shootings broke out at some theaters showing the film. The media quickly blamed the movie, suggesting it incited violence. Singleton, however, defended his work, saying the film wasn't promoting violence, it was exposing the environment that breeds it. This controversy ironically made the film even more famous. Instead of burying it, the media frenzy only drew more attention to its raw power. Fact 11. The Oscar nominations made history. When the film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, Best Director and Best Screenplay, it wasn't just recognition, it was history. Singleton became the youngest nominee ever for Best Director at just 24 years old. To this day, that record stands. He also became the first black director ever nominated in the category. For a kid straight out of USC Film School, that's not just weird, that's unheard of. Fact 12. The movie influenced real life policy discussions. Boyz N The Hood wasn't just entertainment. It became a cultural touchstone in conversations about urban America. Politicians, activists, and educators cited it when discussing poverty, policing, and systemic racism. Think about that. A film written by a college student turned into a teaching tool for real-world policy. Singleton didn't just make a movie, he forced America to confront uncomfortable truths. Fact 13. The cast bonded like a real family. Behind the scenes, the cast developed genuine bonds. Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., Morris Chestnut, and the rest weren't just co-stars, they became brothers. That chemistry bleeds into the film. When Doughboy mourns his brother Ricky, the grief feels real, because by that point, these actors had become like family themselves. Fact 14. Singleton put himself in the movie. In a blink and you'll miss it moment, Singleton actually appears in the film as a mailman. It's his Hitchcock moment, a director inserting himself into his own story. The cameo isn't random. It symbolizes his deep connection to the world he's showing us. Singleton wasn't just behind the camera, he was part of the neighborhood. Fact 15. The film's legacy lives on, and Singleton predicted it. John Singleton once said he knew Boyz N The Hood would outlive him. Sadly, he passed away in 2019 at just 51 years old. But he was right. The film is still studied in universities, still screened for new generations, and still resonates with anyone who's ever struggled with the cycle of violence, poverty, and hope. The weirdest part? This cultural giant of a film, this Oscar-nominated masterpiece.
They still studying this, bro, and still thinking like, times are different. Times are completely different. They used to make a new updated movie for them to be studying.
Started as a college kid scribbling a script in class. More than 30 years later, Boyz N The Hood is more than just a movie. It's a time capsule, a wake-up call, and a work of art that continues to inspire. From the strange coincidences on set, to the groundbreaking firsts, to the real-life dangers that bled into its fiction, every fact about this movie proves one thing: authenticity matters.
Right.
John Singleton didn't just tell a story, he told his story. And in doing so, he told the story of millions. That's why, weird facts and all, Boyz N The Hood remains one of the most important films ever made.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Catch up next one. I'm trying to be more consistent on this channel. I'm gonna stop just doing movie trailers and start adding these